If you're trying to burn fat, why not do it in a way that has you working smarter rather than harder? Most people automatically assume that cardio is better for fat loss and weights are better for building muscle. And this may be true if you compare traditional steady state cardio to traditional weight training, but there are different forms of weight training that incorporate very effective new training techniques that may be far more beneficial for fat loss. So if you're the type of person that wouldn't mind burning fat faster with less effort, then stick with me through this video because I'm going to give you a couple surprising new ways that you could lose fat way faster with both cardio and weight training models, and I'll make sure that you fully understand which one is best for you and your goals. Now, if you're looking for the quick overnight fix, I don't have that for you, but this is as close as you're going to get to that magic bullet quick fix to spending less time in the gym while burning more fat from your workouts. So let's start first by taking a closer look at cardio and weight training at their core. Traditional cardio is usually performed on a treadmill, an elliptical, a stair climber, a bike, or even on a rowing machine. When I talk about traditional cardio, I'm mostly referring to steady state, long duration cardio, where you're continuously repeating the same low to moderate intensity motions, like for example, jogging, biking, or swimming for an extended period of time. Most traditional types of cardio are forms of aerobic training. Aerobic training primarily involves using oxygen to sufficiently meet the body's energy demands during exercise. On the other hand, traditional weight training, where you lift a heavy weight load for a certain amount of reps before taking a break and then repeating that for more sets, that's considered more of an anaerobic activity. With anaerobic training, oxygen alone can't supply enough energy to meet the demands placed on the body. So glycogen from the muscles is primarily used to fuel the activity. Generally speaking, you'll be burning more calories for each session of cardio than weight training for about the same amount of effort. Minute per minute, cardio burns more calories, but does that mean that cardio is better for fat loss? Let's take a closer look. For a long time, it was believed that to burn the maximum amount of fat, you had to stay in what was known as the fat burning zone, which mostly could only be maintained through aerobic cardiovascular activity. The idea behind the fat burning zone was that you would burn a higher percentage of fat calories rather than carb calories when you stayed at about 70% of your maximum heart rate. And this made sense to most people because once an activity became too intense, the pathway for energy would change over to anaerobic and it would begin primarily burning glycogen or carbs for fuel rather than using fat oxidation. However, it's been proven that the fat burning zone is a myth because both types of training, aerobic and anaerobic, can burn plenty of fat. And if you burn more calories from a higher intensity workout, like the workouts that I'm about to share with you, so if you do anything above 70% of your maximum heart rate, you might be burning a higher percentage of carbs, but you're also burning more overall calories because your heart rate is higher and the activity is more intense. So even if you have a smaller percentage of fat coming from a larger overall number of calories, you can still wind up burning more fat. This is very easy to understand if I give you an example like take 50% of a smaller number like 500 and then take 30% of a larger number like 1,000. Just because you're burning a higher percentage of fat from lower intensity exercises like steady state cardio doesn't mean that you're burning more fat. On top of that, even though we know cardio will typically burn more calories per session than weight training, research has shown that you burn more calories in the hours and sometimes the days following a weight training session when compared to a cardio workout. Also, weight training will build much more muscle than cardio, and muscle is directly linked to your resting metabolism. So if you have more muscle, you'll have a faster resting metabolism than if you had less muscle, allowing you to burn more calories during rest over time. So cardio takes the advantage when it comes to calories burnt minute by minute. However, weight training has the advantage with calories burnt over time. That still leaves questions about which one is best specifically for burning fat. Well, luckily there was a study done at Duke University that was published in the Journal of Applied Physiology. It was conducted over the course of 8 months in which they tracked 119 overweight, normally inactive volunteers while they performed either weight training, cardiovascular activity, or a combination of the two. The research showed that the cardio group lost about 4 pounds while the resistance training group gained 2. The 2 pounds were attributed to lean body mass, meaning they gained muscle. However, the cardio-only group lost more than 3.5 pounds of fat, while the lifters didn't lose a single pound of fat. But this means that in the area of fat loss, the resistance training group that used the weights, they lost. However, when compared to the group that did both the weights and the cardio, that group had the biggest improvements in the ratio of fat to lean muscle mass. On average, they also decreased their waist circumference measurements more than the cardio-only group as well. This study shows that when isolating cardio and weights, it seems that cardio works best for reducing fat mass and body mass. But when you combine cardio and weights, especially when you combine them in the right way that I'm about to show you, you get by far the best results. The American Council on Exercise conducted a separate study on exercise sequencing that found that your heart rate is higher by about 12 beats per minute during your cardio workout when you've lifted weights beforehand. A higher heart rate, especially by 12 beats per minute, means more calories burnt. This is why I've always been telling everyone for years now to do cardio after weights, not the other way around unless you're using it as a warm-up. When you do cardio after weights, not only does your heart work harder, causing your body to burn more calories, but you also use up your glycogen stores during your weight training workout. Once glycogen stores are depleted, your body begins to use body fat for energy at a higher rate. The one problem with doing cardio after weights is that you wind up spending more time at the gym. Even in this study, the group that did both spent the most time, almost double the amount of time as the other groups with working out. I mean, it's great that we could burn more fat by doing cardio after weights, but what if we don't want to spend a whole ton of time at the gym? And what if we want something that works faster? Remember that whole train smarter, not harder thing? Yeah, well, that's exactly where training styles like PHA, otherwise known as peripheral hard action training, come into play. Also, there are other techniques like multi-joint training and high-intensity resistance training that you can incorporate to get the most fat loss from your workouts. Peripheral hard action training incorporates an element of cardio into your weight training routines by forcing your heart to work harder. With PHA, you could combine an upper body and a lower body movement and only take a break after you complete both with a heavy weight. So you might do a barbell front squat for 10 reps and then immediately do 10 reps of standing military presses, then take a break. When you do the squats, your heart is pumping blood to your legs, and then when you immediately switch over to the presses, it has to pull all that blood right back up to your upper body. This causes your heart rate and your breathing rate to skyrocket, allowing you to burn more calories in less time. You can also combine an anterior and a posterior movement. Anterior refers to the front part of your body and posterior refers to the back part. So you may combine a chest press with a row or a front squat with a deadlift. Another thing you can do is combine each weighted exercise with a cardio exercise that concentrates on the same muscle groups. For example, you can do 10 reps of squats followed by 45 seconds of high knees. Not only will this form of PHA make you burn way more calories from your workout, but it'll also challenge your muscle strength as well as its endurance. PHA itself is one form of high intensity resistance training, but there are many ways you can set up a quick 15-minute high intensity resistance training routine to get the great fat burning benefits during and after your workout. You can move between a series of exercises using challenging weights with short or long stop-go intervals. So, for example, rather than continuously jogging, the exercises are typically done in certain intervals. Intervals like 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off, or 60 seconds on and 30 seconds off, or even 4 minutes on and 1 minute off. When done correctly, you can burn much more overall body fat within just a few minutes. Cardio and weights each have their benefits, and by throwing in a couple 15-minute high-intensity resistance training sessions, you can get the best of both worlds. You'll get the increased cardiac and lung function from the fast pace of moving from one exercise to the next. This will help speed up weight loss, increase muscular endurance, and it'll give you more energy throughout the day. And then because you're also using weights, you'll be increasing lean body mass, increasing your overall resting metabolism, and you'll be getting stronger. That's it. I really hope this video has helped you guys out. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you're really serious about burning fat, you have to understand that it's not only about working out, but it's also about following a proper diet plan. On my website, I have a challenge that on average is helping my clients lose 20 pounds or 5% body fat in just 6 weeks. Right now, for a limited time, we're running the 6-week challenge for free, and all you got to do to earn it is stick to the plan. We include a diet plan, a workout plan, and an accountability coach to guide you through the entire process. And the challenge makes you hold yourself accountable by having something to lose, okay? Most people fail diet plans because when the going gets rough, there's no incentive to stick it out. Our challenge, on the other hand, is designed to tackle this psychological roadblock that most people face. It shouldn't just be about information. You shouldn't just be after info because that's heavily available everywhere. You should be after incentive, motivation, and momentum. And this challenge actually makes people follow through on what they said they're going to follow through from day 1 to day 42. The challenge can be found by clicking the link below in the description. Or you could just visit my website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.
Pump it.